Again, our theme for the year is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. And I think to have a vision, you kind of have to look up. This month we've explored this is the last day of the month, for goodness sakes. We've explored the sacred wisdom of the science of mind, and so we attempted to do that. And we've been drawn upon and contemplated and read and just thought about our own consciousness, especially this time of year, for me anyway, that we stand upon the shoulders of so many. And just to see a new horizon. 2021 was a new horizon and holds so much promise for me anyway. And I believe that to be true for a lot of us. Yesterday I had a t-shirt that I wore. It said, what it says is, I am who I am because they were who they were. And it was a gift from Reverend Stacy. Thank you, Reverend Stacy, for, I'm sure it's for Black History Month. And there was a hand helping up another hand, which is also the Interfaith Ministry's symbol. Yeah. Someone's helping someone up a mountain. I didn't wear that today. I didn't want to wear that today. It didn't match my talk. It did, but it didn't. So thank you, Reverend Stacy, for that gift. As we advance through 2021 and continue to allow this evolutionary pulse of spirit to work through us and our communities, we do so remembering that we've made a commitment. I've made a commitment. Reverend Stacy has made a commitment, and I know all of you here in the audience and online has made a commitment to an upward journey of divine unfoldment, so to speak. The Essential Earners Homes has many parts in it that I like, not just page 5 where they talk about Reverend Stacy's great-grandfather, but on page 214. And I don't know where the writing was beginning, and I'm not going to pretend that I looked it up because I didn't. But one of the things that was spoken, one of Dr. Holmes' talks when he was dedicating a church, I could have looked it up, I didn't. I don't know what church. It was not Founders, however. We think it was Whittier, don't we? But we're not positive. But I'm going to read this to you because it really made me feel something. Let's see. Because it's really how I feel about this center. He says, we have not yet done what I believe we should do with our membership. We are here tonight to dedicate a church, a physical building. And what I've discovered in 2020 or remembered is that we are more than this building. I think it is beautiful. I think it is wonderful. I think it is a miracle. But I know why it is here. It is here because you are here and because the consciousness of all of you, wonderful people, has moved together. And what happened? Power. Like the weaving of a rope where one strand will hold no weight, but many strands unite and will hold a terrific weight. We have yet to see what the multiple consciousness of a church body can do if the members are properly trained. And when he says trained, we teach a lot of classes. We are what he would call a teaching order, not a preaching order. If they permit someone to exercise authority over them, not over their theology, nor over their private lives, but over one thing only, their spiritual concepts. There's a law of good. There's a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And it will multiply its effects 1,000 times through the united consciousness of a group. I have had so much inward conviction about this last year. He wrote that. We could have all written that, right? There are so many wonderful religions in the world, he says. We are not better than the others. We are not more spiritual. We are not more evolved. We are not anything other than this one thing. And that one thing is consciousness. You know, a few years back, I assisted in teaching a Prac 1 class. And you know, I love Prac 1 classes. That's not true. I'm sorry. I like Prac 1 classes. I like taking Prac 1 because it reminds you of where you have come from, how you got to be the way you are. And so one of the students, I won't say who it is, they may have told you this story already. And so I see people laughing because I think some of them might know this story. They wanted to know, what is it you all want from us? What do you want? What do we have to do? They said, what do we have to do? And I'm just assisting the class, but I didn't hesitate. The teacher of the class, I didn't say anything. I didn't give that person a chance to say anything because I said, you know what we want? All we want is your consciousness. That's all. So, arms were no longer folded. They came down. The guard came down. Because I meant it. You know, I do not only want the consciousness of the 22 members of our ministry of prayer team and Charlie, right? I want all of your consciousness. All of you. That's why we are considered a teaching. I want all of your consciousness. I want yours in these seats, and I want yours out there virtually. Because remember, the rope, like the weaving of a rope, where one strand will hold no weight, but many strands united will hold terrific weight. That's why I want all of your consciousness. That's my favorite. Another one of my favorite things in here is when he actually does say we are a teaching order and not a preaching order. And we are a practicing order. What my teacher, Dr. Maura Fox, would call applied Christianity. Like in our Science of Mind textbook written by the founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, I think 2/3 of it is about the teachings of Jesus. So when we say applied Christianity, we're saying that we do what was taught, what Jesus taught. And I believe that's what Dr. Holmes is saying. We are a practicing order, not a proselytizing order. The world has waited long for something to happen. Now the healing power of the unseen of the Spirit can be made evident. This is the basis of our cornerstone. The basis of our cornerstone. You know, we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought in a world where each and every person discovers his or her own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works works within a world that works for all. That's all we want, people, in this teaching. Now, I know that's a tall order, but I don't think it's too much to ask, especially for myself personally. I am committed. I want to know, are you all committed? You are. Everyone here is shaking their head, and I'm imagining that all of you out there virtually, I see a hand raised over here. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm going to do an exercise with you before I finish. And the hardest thing about this process, which is why another reason I changed the title to Looking Up, is remembering to use it. You know, I learned from one of my teachers and mentors, Kathy Ann Lewis, who spoke here in September of 2019, not 2020. Because Reverend Stacy and I have taken several classes with her on Emma Curtis Hopkins. I think we even taught a year-long class. What was it called?
Inward Journey.
Inward Journey. And we were studying the book of, Mysticism by Emma Curtis Hopkins. And everyone that was skeptical about Emma grew to love Emma. I mean, she was one of those simple and not easy things, you know. Because her words were just so simple, like, well, duh. You know, I felt like I wanted to say duh every time. I try to share it with all my classes when I remember, when it comes up in my mind. But like I said, the hardest part about this practice is remembering to do it. So in High Mysticism, that's the name of the book, High Mysticism. You know, she talks a lot about looking up, a lot. You know, and she went into more detail in her Bible interpretations. I think there's a series of 6 books, I believe. And it's kind of cool. So if you would just bear with me, and I think I'm going to do a quote from that book first, from the 2nd series, before I do the exercise, Emma Curtis Hopkins. And when she says man, she means human being. I'm going to say her exact words. I'm not going to change it for gender appropriation or anything. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time. The man whose thoughts are on God as all, as an upward look of the eyes. The man who brings all his help from above and acknowledges it, does not believe anything is impossible. The man who looks straight towards the horizon believes in great obstacles and names what he must meet. The man who looks down believes in submission to the existing order of things and feels that he must yield to the worst which is as good a faith as he can make up. Whoever undertakes to be spiritually minded or to look straight to God for all things will always come out successful. Of course, God's not in the sky. We don't believe God's in the sky. God is in the kingdom that's in you, the kingdom within you. And the eyes just signal or symbolize your way of thinking. So let's do this. I'm going to ask you first to just, sit comfortably in your chair. Or your bed. I don't know what you all are sitting on out there, but just be comfortable, okay? Feet on the floor. Just ground yourself however you want. I want you to take a deep, relaxing breath. Now I want you to look at the floor and to think about an issue, a problem, or a situation. Just think about it. And just notice as you're looking at the floor what is happening to your body. Do you feel that this issue, problem, or whatever situation it is residing in any specific area? Just notice your breathing. Just notice what you notice, as Mary Morrissey would say. Just notice. Now I want you to look straight ahead as you continue to think about the situation, whatever it is. And again, I want you to scan your body and notice your breath. Just notice if anything has shifted or changed. want you to look up gently. You don't have to, you don't have to go too far back, Don't hurt yourself. Just look up, perhaps just gazing at the wall as it meets the ceiling. As if you're out of doors and looking, not even looking for a rock in the tree, but just, one of the branches of the tree. Or even the mountains, the snow on top of the mountains in the distance. Nothing uncomfortable, just gentle. Be gentle with yourselves. Notice as you have looked up, think about that situation and notice how your body is feeling right now. How is your breathing? How is your breathing? You're looking up now still. Now, when you feel comfortable, just take a deep breath and relax. Now, some of you might have had some reactions that you may want to tell me about or not. But like any tool, it may not be for you. But I'm telling you, every time I've shared this with a class, they have some wonderful stories. Just as wonderful as Charlie's story was about looking above. It works for a lot of people. It works for a lot of people. I want each of you to know that the kingdom of God is at hand. God, Spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call it. I feel that it's closer than my very breath. And as we said about our business for 2021 and beyond, I would love for us to cultivate an awareness of the presence of that breath that's permeating all things as we look up. Because to be truly evolutionary, we must work to not only embody the divine in each and every moment, but to catch and hold the vision for that divine unfolding that I know is on its way. And it's only on its way because we just need to look up and notice it. Because it's already here. The gift has already been given. It's simply asking for you to notice it. I know each of you noticed it and notice it in each other and your loved ones and your pets. I know you all noticed it in Charlie today. I want you to notice it within yourself. Within yourself. And remember to look up. To look above. Thank you. Namaste.